Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The question looming over the Golden State Warriors is how long Jonathan Kuminga will remain on the roster following his recent re-signing with the team. According to a prominent NBA source, that timeframe may be shorter than fans expected. Rumors are swirling that the Warriors are ready to make Kuminga available on the trade market as soon as he becomes eligible for a deal on January 15. Kuminga will likely be traded, however, due to his dissatisfaction with coach Steve Kerr. The Golden State Warriors are aware that star point guard Stephen Curry will be walking away from the game in the near future. They have been attempting to juggle a two-timeline approach to their roster for years, but it hasn't quite turned out the way they had hoped. The Warriors had a slew of young players who they wanted to lead the team after Curry's departure, and the core of this group was forward Jonathan Kuminga, the number 7 overall pick in 2021. The lengthy wing player has shown small flashes in his career, but his development has been significantly hindered by a lack of playing time. Kuminga and Golden State were at odds all summer in a contract dispute, with the former either wanting a trade from the team entirely or control over his own future. The two sides finally came to an agreement last week on a 2-year, $46.8 million contract, but a new report suggests that the Warriors will begin trade negotiations as soon as they can. NBA insider Jake Fisher wrote, "The mounting expectation, as a result, is that the Warriors will make Kuminga available on the trade market once he becomes eligible to be dealt on January 15. Golden State is always looking to contend for championships, so it makes sense that they can't fully commit to developing a young player. But Kuminga is a former lottery pick and has never played more than 26 minutes per game in a season, obviously atypical for someone of his stature. Now, his role in the rotation figures to be even more complicated with star forward Jimmy Butler in the fold, a trade deadline acquisition made by the Warriors earlier this year. NBA teams should start considering Jonathan Kuminga trade packages. A recent report suggests that the former 7th overall pick might not see the entire deal through with the Warriors, as he's expected to be at the forefront of trade season speculation when the calendar reaches 2026. I'm told that the relationship across this bargaining table, after such long-running talks, is certainly strained, NBA insider Jake Fisher recently wrote. How Kuminga fits with the Butler-era Warriors will thus be one of the key storylines to track through the season's first few months. If Kuminga struggles to establish a consistent role under Warriors coach Steve Kerr, as he has in the past, his name is destined to be at the forefront of trade season speculation. A brief history of Kuminga's complicated summer. Heading into the offseason, Kuminga was a restricted free agent with a qualifying offer on the table from the Warriors. The former lottery pick anticipated gaining interest from several teams. However, a big offer didn't land in Kuminga's lap. As free agency played out, it was becoming clear that Kuminga's desired offer wasn't coming. Teams were loading up and spending, leaving little room for the 23-year-old forward to get his. As a result, Kuminga's options were down to taking the qualifying offer, signing a multi-year deal and sticking with the Warriors, or signing a multi-year deal and getting shipped out. The Warriors had all of the leverage in the situation. There was no market competition, and they didn't have to agree to a trade they didn't want, hence why Kuminga isn't a member of the Sacramento Kings at this moment. Eventually, Kuminga accepted the situation and locked in a 2-year deal, which has a team option for the second season. This year, Kuminga will earn $22.5 million. If the option is picked up, he'll get $24.3 million for the 2026 to 2027 season. Why the Warriors would be wise to move on. If the relationship is truly strained, the Warriors shouldn't hesitate to strongly consider trade offers in January. As the Warriors are in win-now mode, the last thing they need is a player who has a low level of buy-in to what they are running. Time can heal, and winning can cure, but Kuminga is still fighting for his first major payday in the NBA. If he truly wants a role with more responsibility as his agent previously suggested, he might have a hard time finding it in Golden State, where he started just 84 of the 258 games he's played. Kuminga is expected to still have a handful of suitors, including the likes of the Kings, Bulls, and the Suns. If the Warriors can find a proper return that doesn't affect their future cap space too much, there is a strong chance Kuminga could be wearing a second uniform later in the year. Al Horford is already positively impacting Stephen Curry and the entirety of the Warriors after one preseason game. Even at 39 years old and entering his 19th NBA season, Al Horford remains a highly impactful and efficient player. This is especially true now that he is playing alongside experienced all-stars like Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler on the Golden State Warriors, a team where his unique style of play fits in perfectly. Although he may not have officially signed with the Warriors until the start of training camp, Golden State knew they were adding Horford all offseason long. The veteran big man was the Dubs' top free agency target this summer, and after one preseason game, it's clear to see why that was. The Warriors defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 111-103 in their first preseason game on Sunday night, as Horford made his debut for Golden State with 3 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks in 14 minutes off the bench. Horford did a little bit of everything in his first action as a member of the Warriors, but what stood out the most was that the 5-time All-Star and NBA champion seemed like he's been playing with this group for years. Aside from making the game easier for the young players on the Warriors roster, Horford already seems to be comfortable playing alongside Curry and Butler. That became very clear when Horford found Curry on an easy give-and-go layup early in the game. Horford is a calming presence for this championship-experienced Dubs squad, and he will fill a role that many before him, like David Lee, David West, Andrew Bogut, and Andre Iguodala, have filled over the last decade, the role of the veteran leader who bridges the gaps between the team's stars. An experienced, championship-caliber player that can fit with any lineup out there. He gives space, he gives his presence on the defensive end. You saw the pass he made to me out of the corner, Curry said in his post-game comments about Horford, via Clutch Points Warriors reporter Kenzo Fukuda. It's just kind of the unspoken chemistry that will continue to get better. He is multidimensional as a 5-man. I'm excited to see what that looks like for me, for Jimmy, for JK, Jonathan Kuminga, and for Draymond Green. Any lineup, you can throw him out there at the 5, and he lifts the group. Throughout the 2025-26 NBA season, the Warriors will utilize Horford in many different ways, similar to how Joe Mazzulla and the Boston Celtics used the veteran through the years. Horford was an integral part of the Celtics' recent championship run in 2024, and the Dubs will look to use him in a similar way. However, unlike when he was with the Celtics, Horford is now with a team that has already won a championship, 4 since 2015, to be specific. Very few teams in the NBA have 3 experienced, unselfish stars like Curry, Butler, and Green who can all play off one another in a very unselfish manner. Now, with another skilled veteran like Horford in the equation, Steve Kerr recognizes how special of an opportunity his team has entering the new year. To see the size, shooting ability, passing ability, and just the flow of the game. What an addition he is, Kerr said of Horford's debut. We can play him with anybody. He fits any lineup. He makes any lineup better. We're lucky to have him. This is a guy who's been around a long time and has seen everything. The game comes very naturally to him. It usually takes weeks, sometimes months, for players to build a strong bond and chemistry with one another. Already, Horford fits like a glove alongside Curry and others in Kerr's system. That is why the Warriors believe his impact can help elevate this group back into the championship equation in the Western Conference during the 2025-26 season. Why Steve Kerr isn't rushing into Warriors contract extension with 1 year left. Why Steve Kerr isn't rushing into Warriors contract extension with 1 year left originally appeared on NBC Sports Bay Area. Warriors coach Steve Kerr said last week that he's comfortable coaching the 2025-26 NBA season on the last year of his contract with Golden State. But on the same day, general manager Mike Dunleavy added that he selfishly wants Kerr back with the Warriors for a long time. So, what's the hold-up? Kerr explained to Tim Kawakami on Monday's episode of The TK Show why he's in no rush to sign an extension despite the Warriors' desire for him to return next season and beyond. I think Mike respects the fact that I'm just at the point in my career, and we are at the point organizationally, where I just want to make sure everything feels right, and for them, too, not just for me, but for the players, for them, Kerr told Kawakami. I think one of the things that I'm aware of is in sports, and every sport, there's kind of an expiration date on coaching jobs, and if you feel as a coach that it's not clicking anymore, then it's time to go, and I don't think that's the case. I don't believe that that's where we are right now. I think I'm very comfortable with the players. I know they respect me. We have a great collaboration. Love working with Mike, love working with this whole organization. So if you had to ask me, I would guess that it'll keep going. But I don't really feel like that's the right call to make, because I just want to see where this all is. And maybe we're at the All-Star break, and it's like, hey, this is going to keep going. Let's do it, but for right now, let's just kind of see where this all goes. And like I said, I'm perfectly comfortable with whatever happens, but I love what I do, and I would imagine I'll keep doing this. Kerr signed his 2-year, $35 million contract extension in February 2024. With 2 years left on Steph Curry's contract, 2 left on Draymond Green's with a player option in the final year, and Jimmy Butler also signed through the 2026-27 NBA season, it only seems right that Kerr would stick around for at least one more year. But there's plenty that goes into that decision, Kerr explained, team aside. As I get older, I think a lot about what would drive me from the NBA, Kerr told Kawakami. And what would that mean? I love being part of a team, being part of a group, collaborating. The travel, the length of the season does start to wear on you. A little bit of life enters the equation, family, all that stuff, grandkids. So this is really more about let's just see where everything is at the end of the year, or midway through the year, whatever it is. But I didn't really feel like addressing this stuff right now, because I want to see how I feel 6 months from now, and how the organization feels, too. No matter how, or when, Kerr's Warriors tenure ends, many members of Dub Nation likely will feel the conclusion came prematurely. Golden State Warriors guard reveals how UCL injury improved jump shot. The Golden State Warriors have a deep rotation for this upcoming season. Among that rotation is 23-year-old Moses Moody, who has been a quiet but utilized member of the Warriors. The shooting guard has been with the team since being drafted in 2021 and boasts career averages of 9.8 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 1.3 assists per game in about 17 minutes a night. Though the numbers don't stand out necessarily, Warriors fans know that Moody is a reliable three-point shooter, career is 36.7%, and can play solid defense on the wing. Moody's offseason surgery. Moody had his right UCL, thumb area, repaired in surgery after the 2024-25 NBA season. The entire summer gave his body time to heal, and he's looking ready to make a bounce back this upcoming season as the Warriors chase another title. During last season, after the All-Star break, Moody's averages all went up as he received more playing time. While all the noise was on Jonathan Kuminga, the other 2021 draftee was quietly improving his game and creating legit noise for himself. Moody himself acknowledged his play. "Yeah, it was good to see it. You think you can do something, but once you've actually done it, then, you can do something. So it was cool to, work through everything that I've been through in the league, working through it and then getting to that point and being able to capitalize on the opportunity. So that was really cool to see," he continued. Moody also shared that the surgery allowed him to refocus his shot and slow it down a bit. That could lead his shot-making to be more methodical, but also more accurate. Leading the way into this season, the Warriors played their first game against the Los Angeles Lakers, and it wasn't any of the veteran core that led the way in scoring. It was actually Moody, who in his 15 minutes scored 19 points on 7 of 9 shooting, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. The guard is improving year after year, and this first game was a positive sign to himself, the fans, and the organization. The Warriors will be looking to compete for a 5th championship this year in the Steve Kerr era, and Moody is making a case to be a larger piece in helping with that. With his repaired thumb and supposedly improved shooting, Moody might be the secret piece the Warriors had all along.